Hey everyone, welcome back to the 1% Shift episode on the Live Life Balance podcast. I am so excited to be bringing you this mini-series because it was inspired by you. You guys have asked me for swaps, you've asked me for tips, you've asked me for tools, you've asked now what, how do I do this, where do I start? So I thought each week I would do one short episode on one particular topic, and I would do just that. I would give you the tips and tools that you need, the swaps and the things that you need to do in order to make those shifts in that particular area to help you to keep going on your journey to create better health and wellness for yourself. And who knows, you might even pick up a habit or two that could become one of your non-negotiables. So let's go explore this week's topic and see what we can find. Hey, welcome back to the 1% Shift episode. Today we're going to be talking about self-love, and over the last few episodes we've talked about boundaries, we've talked about self-care, and self-love is sort of like wrapping it up all together into like a pretty package. A lot of times self-care is very misunderstood as more on the vanity side of getting your hair done, going to the spa, doing something for ourselves rather than accepting ourselves fully as we are with all of our flaws, and then nurturing ourselves from a deep sense of compassion and kindness. And I always say, treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. Would you talk to your best friend the way that you're talking to yourself? Would you do X, Y, and Z for your best friend? Or would you do it a different way? And so if you're going to do it a different way, talk to yourself and ask yourself, well, why would I do that? And why wouldn't I do that for myself? In the hustle and bustle of life, we often lose touch with the essential aspect of just our being. We get caught up in that daily grind. We compare ourselves. Usually we strive for these unattainable ideals. And so how can we peel back the layers and rediscover self-love? It's simple, yet a powerful approach to this personal transformation. Instead of overwhelming ourselves with those giant drastic changes, remember, we always focus on those tiny incremental shifts, just 1% better each day, right? So let's break it down. Imagine you wanted to cultivate more self-love in your life. So again, instead of setting this ambitious goal of like, I will love myself completely from here, for forever, or I will stop talking to myself this way starting today for the rest of my life. It's more like starting with something smaller, maybe affirming yourself about one positive thing or one accomplishment each day. Maybe it's acknowledging your resilience and overcoming a challenge, or maybe appreciating a unique talent that you might have. A lot of times, again, we're rushing through life. We're not present. Pause and ask yourself these questions. What is a challenge that I've overcome lately? What is a unique talent that I have that I put out into the world to serve others? By consistently practicing, the small acts of like self-affirmation, you are gradually rewiring our brain to see ourselves through a more loving lens. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit deeper. Each time we do something different than what we were doing, we are actually rewiring our brain to see things differently. So if you're somebody who has talked to yourself negatively most of your life, by saying one thing, that is not going to rewire your brain so that every single day for the rest of your life, you're never going to say anything negative again. But the more that you say positive affirmations to yourself, like, I'm so proud of myself because I overcame X, Y, and Z. Or, wow, look at just, I'm a great photographer and I just went and, shot someone's photos and, I served somebody and that made them feel good. And it made me feel good for being able to serve somebody else. So it's constantly having those more positive conversations within that is going to consistently rewire the brain. But I just said, consistency, which is the key. It's not about making that one time, grand gesture and then just never showing up for yourself. You have to show up every single day for yourself, even when it feels difficult or uncomfortable. And I promise you, over time, these small shifts will, compound. They will build up and they will lead to the change in how we perceive ourselves and also how, we perceive our worth. we start to recognize that we are worthy of love and we're worthy of acceptance just as we are. We don't have to have X, Y, and Z for somebody to love us or accept us. So, if you're feeling disconnected from your self-love, remember, the power of the 1% shift method. Remember to start small, be consistent, and watch as the layers peel away to reveal, who you truly are. And 3 of, little tips that you can walk away with. Number 1, self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to that best friend or that close friend when facing challenges or setbacks. Practice that self-compassion by acknowledging your feelings without judging them and offering, yourself words of comfort and encouragement, just like you would do if a friend called you and was upset. Number 2, we're always going to go back to those self-care rituals, dedicating time each day to engage in activities that are going to nourish your mind and your body and your soul, whether it's taking a warm bath, whether it is going for a walk in nature, whether it's being present and, meditating, or indulging in a hobby that you love, prioritizing the activities that kind of replenish your energy and bring you joy. Those are all things that are going to help you to foster more self-love. And of course, what we just talked about last week, which is setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that drain your energy and compromise your well-being has to be a priority. You have to make yourself a priority. Your needs and your desires have to come first so that you can show up better for other people. Establishing those healthy boundaries in our relationships and the commitments that allow us to honor, our own values and protect our own mental and emotional health. Everything we need to do every day needs to have us at the forefront of thinking. Will this serve me in a way that's going to grow me, or is this serving in a way that's going to set me back? I hope that, these last couple of weeks, you've really been able to see what resonates with you, take away some things, start working on those boundaries, working on that self-care, all to be producing and enhancing your self-love. Because without self-love, it's really hard to make the steps forward in anything that you're trying to accomplish in life. So I hope that you guys have an amazing week. Love to you all, and I will talk to you soon. I hope that you enjoyed that episode and that you can see yourself taking away 1% this week. Stay tuned for more practical tips and nourishing your body and your mind. Until next time, of course, take care, make those healthy swaps, and know that I'm here cheering you on, walking beside you on your journey. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon.